Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beta Breakdown, where today we're going to be discussing some huge balance changes coming to the game soon that will affect one of the most dominant defenses that we've seen in a while, in addition to some other recent heroes that they believe to be falling a bit behind. Before we get to this video, if you haven't checked out Gemstone Legends yet, come check it out. There are, no joke, thousands of players from Empires and Puzzles that have come over already, and for good reason. Simply put, it's a really fun game with some big advantages over Empires and Puzzles. We both know that the players that join these games earliest are some of the most dominant players. And this game is starting to really take off, so the longer you wait, the more you miss out on. Not only can you support the channel by using the download link in the description of this video, or by scanning the QR code on your screen, but doing so will also give you a free $50 starter bonus with an epic hero, gems, and gold coins, all for free, just by using the link or QR code provided. And then when you start, you'll gain access to beginner events exclusively for players who use the link or QR code provided that will give you another strong epic hero, a set of 5-star legendary equipment, and a platinum scroll for another guaranteed epic or legendary hero. Lastly, I have created a bunch of videos in a Gemstone Legends playlist on my YouTube channel to make learning this game as easy and fun as possible. So hit that download link in the description and get started with one of the most fun and deep Match 3 RPGs. There's a great community in Gemstone Legends. It has some huge advantages over Empires and Puzzles, and overall, I think you guys are really going to like it. These changes are pretty huge, and I'm shocked to see what is happening, so make sure to stick around for all of that new information being discussed. Additionally, we have memberships on the channel now, so if you're interested in getting some exclusive members-only perks and helping to support the channel at the same time, check that stuff out. Information in the description below. So thank you guys so much for that. Also, there's some construction going on here, so if you hear some noise in the background, I apologize about that, but I wanted to cover this stuff while it was just happening. So the main adjustment is going to be to the Winter family. A lot of people have noticed that one of the most dominant defenses involves having the full Winter family on defense, or as many of those pieces as possible. With Costume Krampus and Mr. Pengy being the most dominant in that meta, and then you have Mother North and Santa there for support. Santa with that deep defense down, Mother North with the heal and revive, Krampus with the truly massive attack boost, and Pengy just wrecking you from all the minions, the very stout minions on the team. So let's look at the first changes here. We've been closely monitoring the power over the holidays in January. Our data chillingly indicates, very funny, these heroes are an impressive and oppressive force in PvP battles. We try to avoid nerfing things when we can. Doesn't really mean much to say that, because you're still here nerfing, so kind of just saying it because it sounds good. But we believe it's best to take quick, decisive action when a specific set of heroes starts to completely take over the meta. So hardly quick action. We've been seeing this for weeks now. Having to play against the same hero simply doesn't make for a great experience. This is true, but I don't think that is the experience of many people. One, it's easy to reroll. Two, people are not having full wars of these heroes unless you're at the top, 0.2% or something. Or 0.02% is more like it. So kind of a strange move. I mean, I have seen a lot of these teams on defense, but it's just easy to go on to the next team. We don't have infinite rating flags, so I didn't see it as a big problem, even though I did see them as a strong team. I think it's okay to have that. If you keep trying to play whack-a-mole with the strongest meta, something else just pops up, right? If you bring the strongest thing down, then you leave space for something else to be the strongest thing, and there's no perfect balance where that is not going to be the case. So yeah, a bit disappointing, and the nerf is huge. So Krampus is the only one getting hit, and it's they're slashing everything, which is really disappointing. But here's what's going on. So the family bonus, the elf minions are going from 10% HP to 7. So I guess that is a nerf to all of those heroes. But it's not huge. Now instead of gaining 5% or 10%, they're going to gain 2 and 3. So that's actually pretty big. Is it justified? We'll see. This kind of feels like the Teleria Vela thing, where they create this oppressive synergy in the heroes that they release, and then they go overboard with certain heroes that on their own would be okay. So let me know your thoughts as I go through this in the comments below. I know a lot of people have found these teams annoying, but again, it's so easy to just go on to the next team that I don't see why it was an issue personally, because you're not forced to fight all these teams, and the idea that we should be able to beat any team at any time, I think, is a little bit too entitled for the game to be fun, really. So that's my thought on that. Here's what they're doing to Costume Krampus. So they're boosting his attack because they're doing a huge cut to his defense and health. So he's gaining over 100 attack. He's losing 81 defense, which is really big. And honestly, I think that would have been enough. He's losing then over 100 HP. They're changing his class from a rogue to barbarian. Like, they don't need to do all of this at once. Try lowering his stats. Try changing just his class first. Don't do everything at once, or you just end up with a gutted version of the hero. And I think that is really unfortunate. These are huge changes. And then, what were the advantages to him? He had all these things for 4 turns. He had 4-turn taunt, which was tested in beta. This isn't something that was impossible to see coming. And I remember talking about this when they were first showing this hero in beta, going, wow, Black Knight has 3-turn taunt, and they're giving Krampus a 4-turn taunt. That's a pretty big difference. Interesting. He's going to be very strong, so they knew this as well, but here we are. So taunt is going down from 4 turns to 3. And so just up to this point, changing the class, cutting the defense, cutting the health, cutting the taunt, way too many changes. This is a huge overcorrection, and I think this is a big mistake. They're talking about how oppressive the synergy is, and then they just slash one hero in particular. They're cutting the family bonus a little bit, but Krampus is just getting slashed here. Caster gets plus 50% for 4 turns, is going down to 30% defense for 3 turns, and they're changing his class and lowering the defense. Way too much of a fucking overcorrection, and excuse me for that, but I'm getting really pissed off as I'm reading this because it's just overboard. It's so overboard. The attack boost. All allies get plus 45% attack and a further 20%. That's staying the same, but for 3 turns. It was very strong at 4 turns, but they should not be changing all of these things. And the reason why I'm frustrated is because I think it's unlikely that they're going to go, oh, we've seen this change, now we're going to boost him back up a little bit. Like, they're tired of people complaining, I guess, or they have certain metrics where they don't want to see a certain win percentage happening because they believe that to be bad for spending and bad for player retention. Okay, but dial it back a little bit. Because they are going to fix their problem, in essence. They're going to make this synergy less dominant. But they're totally fucking over this one hero in the meantime. So we'll see what it's like. In my opinion, it's a huge overcorrection. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, please hit the like button and subscribe as we're going here. It really helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. So if you enjoy the content, show your support for the channel in that way, because it really does help out. All right, so now to the buffs. The Starfall and Magic families. So Starfall has received a buff already. You might be surprised to see them here again. But they feel that these families are underrepresented in the meta, and they want to change that. So, there's some more dumb puns in here. And so yeah, blah, blah, blah. Family bonus for Starfall is instead of 40 and 60 for 2 and 3, it's 50, 75, and 100 for 1, 2, and 3 heroes. I really like family bonuses that work for single heroes. I kind of feel like that's what they should have been doing all along. as long as the numbers are balanced to that. So that's a pretty big improvement. The numbers getting higher and it working for just single heroes. I think, if I remember correctly, the Starfall is a chance to cleanse ailments at the end of the turn. So even just having one of those heroes, 50% chance that they won't have any ailments at the end of the turn, which is pretty cool. Zarya is getting a buff again. Crazy. I think it's because there's so many boosted health heroes now that not being a boosted health hero is hurting her. I think it would be too big of a change in their minds to switch her over to a boosted health thing. It would just be totally retooling the hero. So they're just making her heal even deeper, which is kind of pointless in a sense because you can't, again, if it's not boosted HP, you can't heal past 100%. So she's really only going to be effective if your team is almost dead, and that's not a place that you want to be in anyways. So she will help you in those situations. A buff is a buff. I'm not mad about it, but I feel like they're trying to keep her relevant in a space where boosted health has become the new sort of necessity for elite tier healers. Heal for all other allies from 37 up to 42. That's nice. Clown minions from 13% up to 15% HP. So basically everyone's healing everyone's healing 57% and one hero is healing 80% if you count the minions. But the minion part can count as boosted HP essentially because you still get a minion even if your health is full. This is a big one. So Eora and Fluffy had been dwarfed recently by the buff to the Dark Lord, who was the best sniper in the game and continues to be until this goes live. It'll be a debate on who is better at that point. I think he still might be better, but big buff from 530 to 600. And keep in mind that this damage is going to be much more significant than, say, going from 100 to 170. The higher these numbers get, like edging closer to 600, the damage rises exponentially at that point as you start to get higher and higher and higher. So that's a big buff. Health reduction is increased by 100 to minus 400 off that max health for all heroes with minions. Emilio's getting a little bit of an attack boost. He was more defensively oriented. See, why do they give Krampus a huge slashing nerf and they increase his attack by 6 as if that's going to make any difference at all? That's really stupid and it's annoying to me. Burn damage is going up, so if they do have burn, it's going up from 360 over 5 turns to 415. Burn damage over 5 with no enemies having burn is going up almost 100, which is quite a lot. Theobald, direct damage to enemy with highest is going up by 30%. All others are also going up by 30%. All allies get 50% attack for 4 turns. Now it's 45% attack, and it's scaling. So they've taken a hero. Basically, they gave him the Krampus attack boost after taking it away from Krampus. There's other ways to disrupt synergy than just fucking over one hero. Really annoyed about that one. Magic Family, they're also increasing the percentages and making it apply to single heroes. I forget what the Magic Family bonus is. I think it's a percentage chance to give a 5% mana stack to a random ally. So that's cool that it works for single heroes now and is a 50% chance to start for only one hero, and you needed 3 heroes in the past to get that. Now with 3, it's a guarantee. Passives now affect all enemies regardless of their element. So Mileno is able to give 25% mana, 50% chance, I think, to give 25% mana to all allies that weren't blue. Now it works for everyone, so that opens up some better team synergies than there were before. Agrafina had gotten a pretty bad rap, or just wasn't well liked. I always thought she was good because what she offered was for many, many turns, and the numbers were really high, and she's even better now. So the very fast speed charge is now minus 20% attack for 3 turns and minus 20% defense for 3 turns. That's pretty good at very fast speed, considering it affects all enemies. Second charge, she's now getting the Krampus attack boost. This is going to be fucking insane. Mark my words. 6 turns of that. 6 turns of a scaling attack boost means that you can probably pretty easily have 3 full turns of 145% attack, at least on multiple heroes. So I wish I wasn't so short on Druid emblems, because I would love to ascend her now. That is crazy good. I mean, it's at slow speed, but there's ways to speed up, especially purple heroes now. So all allies for 6 turns get plus 45% attack and a further 20% increase every time they're hit. Insane. All allies for 6 turns get plus 54% defense and a further plus 5% increase every time they're hit. Huge. And then healing for 1400 HP, so increasing that by over 200. That is so good. It's harder to speed her up. Like, you can't just use an Ulfod or something like that to make her functionally fast, because the magic heroes function as 2 independent 6-tile charges. So 20% is 20% of 6 and not 20% of 12. So just keep that in mind. Anastasia, minion health going up from 8 to 13, and attack from 17 to 20, pretty minor. Except they added, on the second charge, 235% direct damage to all. I had fed her away because she was just so bad, but maybe she'll be worth considering now. Actually, she will be, because that's a 5%, that's almost, that's more than a 50% increase to the health of minions that she had before, and she functions truly at very fast speed without needing a mono troop, so that's a big advantage for tournaments. Anton, direct damage up from 185 to 250, accuracy up from 50 to 60, really good. Revive chance up 10% with revived HP going up 10%, quite good. Crystal, huge improvement, direct damage from 235 to 250, but if they're less than 50% health, he's doing 500% damage, so guaranteed kill in 99% of cases. Direct damage from 200 to 215. However, if they have more than 50% HP, they're doing 430, or he's doing 430% damage instead of 400. Quite good. Dolgoon is giving 3 turns instead of 2 turns. This is the green 3-star, who's quite good. And then plus 63% defense for 3 turns. So a nice buff to a truly very fast speed hero in tournaments, 3-star hero. Melena's healing 5% more, up to 25% total, and direct damage is getting a 30% increase from 390 to 420, and her passive applies to all enemies regardless of color. So she is even better, and she was already very well liked, so I'm looking forward to finding a more consistent team for her. Now, Motega, huge buff here. Attack is going down because defense is going up, so we like to see that. Number 1 charge, they're getting almost double the HP, those butterfly minions. And when they get hit, the 20% increased damage is going for 3 turns instead of 2. I wish they increased that to 25 or 30, because I really want to like this hero, but they keep putting him just short of what would make me comfortable saying, yes, I definitely want to use the 6 darts I have to ascend this guy. However, the second charge, this is pretty insane. Butterfly Fiend absorbs 50% of owner's max health now. So very few healers are going to be able to get rid of those, which just means that that blind, that 50% blind, I think, is just debilitating. Nadezhda is getting a increased revival chance by 10%, increased heal, and revived HP. So some pretty big changes. Yeah, so let me know what you think of these down below. I like to see the buffs, don't like to see the nerfs. I don't think any of these will disrupt things too much, but I think it will like, make sure to keep in mind that because you're seeing more of these heroes on defense and they can be challenging at times, doesn't mean the buffs went too far, right? The whole goal is to increase the frequency of seeing these heroes in defense, or I suppose offense as well. And so that happening means that this was successful, not, oh, well, now Nadezda's here all the time and she's reviving. I mean, pick your poison, right? There's always going to be a best. Always. There's always going to be a best team. So the more we understand that and stop just complaining when things are challenging, the better the balance of the game will actually be. So not calling out anyone in particular, just saying that let's keep this all in perspective. They're trying to have a broad diversity of heroes. Yes, the game is still geared towards paying players. You know, they're not buffing Season 1 heroes, but we kind of know by now that's just what the deal is. And yeah, if we see more of these heroes on defense, I think that's a good thing. There's always going to be a somewhat more dominant defensive synergy, and that's fine. I think we need to accept that that is the case, work with what we have, find ways to have fun with the game. If you don't like playing a team, just re-roll it. Doesn't really matter, you know? Or go in your watchtower, don't even pay food, just pick a different team to fight. You'll find plenty of teams that aren't the dominant synergy. If you're in a top 100 alliance or top 50, top 25, whatever, and you're tired of fighting the same teams, consider changing alliances, you know? You have a lot of control with the game and how fun it is for you by putting yourself in a different position within that game. So just keep that in mind. We have a lot of control for how the game feels to us as well. We can re-roll, we can try different alliances, we can do all these different things, and it doesn't mean that we have to constantly be changing the game to suit what we personally think it should be. So yeah, just want to put that out there because I think it's bad overall when they have to keep nerfing heroes. It creates a lot of frustration and a lot of distaste for their brand, which is something that is going to hurt them and ultimately us if the game caves in or too many people keep leaving. So just keep all that stuff in mind. But as always, please do share your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear what you guys think about these things. Changes are big. I know what I think, or at least my thoughts are starting to take shape, but I want to know what you guys think. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you didn't already, but I'm sure you did because you guys are great supporters of the channel. Check out the memberships, and I will see you in the next video.